So, dear participants, the next lecture, the next one, I am the person going to take. And I think, can we start now also? It is 11:22. So, if you are comfortable, I can continue, or I can wait for till 11:30 to start. Because my lecture timing is 11:30 to 1 p.m. So, I don't know, shall I continue? Okay, thank you so much. Thank you. So, I'll just share that slide, my slide first. So, can you see my slide? So, dear participants, can you see my slide? Okay, thanks. Thank you. Thank you. So, as you can see, the topic of my today's discussion is about the role of science to the society. And I am from Department of Physics in this university. I'm working. And first of all, I would like to thank the organizers and HRDC, who has given me opportunity to talk to you and interact with you. And I'm really thankful to all the participants for choosing and joining Mizoram University for this particular course. And it's a great pleasure for me talking to you. Okay. And as you can see the title, the topic, I'll try to talk to you about how the science initially.
No.
Now.
Yes,
Hello. Okay.
Oh, good morning, sir.
Good morning, sir. Good morning. Yeah.
Oh, so you already started, no? Okay, sir. I'm little late.
Yeah, just now the previous speaker, I have thanked him and everything he completed. So with the permission of participants, I am going to start little earlier.
Okay, it's fine, sir. Fine.
So participants are okay, they said, so we'll just go ahead.
Okay, so dear participants, now Professor Tiwari is senior professor in the Mizoram University, and he has been head of the department 3 times. He's been dean of the School of Physical Science also. So he's going to talk about role of science to the society. So, sir, you may take it from here. My meeting is still continuing, so I will rejoin the meeting.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Yeah, please continue your meeting. Thank you so much.
Okay.
So, dear participants, I warmly welcome to you to this session where we are going to interact. I never say teaching because most of you are faculty members only. So you are from our profession only. So it's not that I'm going to teach and you are going to like not school or college teaching, but it will be like interactive discussion, I should say. So, role of science to the society. Like if you talk about today's world, we always talk about multidisciplinary concept. Like all of you must have heard about New Education Policy 2020, where the most or the maximum emphasis is given to multidisciplinary type of choice of the students, the freedom for the students to choose. Okay, and this why it is necessary, because now the time has come where it is very difficult to streamline, or it is very difficult to say that this particular stream, and if this is physics and this is chemistry, this is mathematics, or this is economics. So taking them in isolation, that time is gone now. Okay, because there was a time when we say that, okay, this is physical science and this is earth science, this is life science. And sorry, this is social science, and everybody or most of us used to work in isolation. Now the time has come where these barriers are either totally gone or they are in the process of going. Especially the new education policy of the government of India is one very big and major step towards this, so that we can work together and we can supplement each other, rather than saying that no, I'm from science and you are from arts, so how can we meet? But this when I say meet, it means academic. So now the time has come when anyone and everyone can have contribution, and we can talk about, as I said, multidisciplinary, not only teaching, but multidisciplinary research is the need of the hour. Because whenever we are trying to write a research project, whether it is any subject, any area, then what is paramount is that when you go for presentation, the most important question that they ask is that where is the application of your research? Okay, so application-oriented research, and that is very happy thing that Government of India, all the agencies, they are looking for any research proposal without any bar to the money or fund, no problem. But main thing is they are looking for the project, the research proposal, which are other things also, as you were listening earlier, incubation center and so many other things. So whatever it may be, if it has a lot of applications, then that kind of project, that kind of proposal is very much welcome. And once they see that what you are talking about, you can really do it, you can realize it on the ground, then money is no issue. As I said, they are not putting any cap that you cannot write project beyond 1 crore or beyond 50 lakh, nothing like that. If your project proposal has a potential to develop something, suppose you are going for patent, or you are coming up with certain device, or you are coming up with a business model, or you are coming up with any other type of work which has got applications to the society or to a particular scientific community or to a particular business community, whatever it may be, there is no bar in the today's projects that if you are from economics, you cannot take a person from engineering, or if you are from engineering, you should not go to management. So engineering or management or social science or physical science or earth science, lab science, whatever you say, these things are connected in such a way nowadays that you once you join a group having different ideas, the outcome of your research work, the proposal that you are preparing is going to be very strong, and the outcome is going to be application oriented. So that is why I told you this thing in brief, because that is the main idea behind this, that how the society and the science or engineering, they are not in isolation, because whatever things are done there, they reach to the every part of the society. And if more applications of your research proposal is there, that you are going to benefit a lot, and the chances of your project getting sanctioned is much higher if you have a very specific, very realistic plan for research and coming out with the outcome that is going to be application oriented. Okay, so this is my I believe most of you are young faculty, so you are going to write maybe research proposals in future. So all these things, it may help you. That's my own, my discussion or my thoughts or my points I'm trying to put you a lot before I'm going to the main topic. So that will be my advice or suggestion to you, that you suppose 2 or 3 people from different disciplines, and they should be in tune. And if they are ready to work, then all of you, with one project, 3 of you can get benefit for your promotion purposes, for your plan of, suppose you are going to develop something out of the proposal. So whatever, with a good intention and with heart of, with a good, nice group of people, and having a lot of, enthusiasm. If you have that, So that kind of group can do wonderful job, and sky is no limit. Okay, be it any subject, any area. So this kind of idea of the New Education Policy 2020 says that all the subjects, all the departments are equally respectable, and they are equally important in the development of the society at large. Okay, so with these comments, let me move to the next slide. So here, I think some problem. Okay, yeah. So in this particular discussion, these are the outlines: introduction, digital technology, waves, big data analytics, Internet of Things, robotics, 3D printing, artificial intelligence, technological innovation, impacts. So here in the points, you can see many things written. But what I'm going to discuss, or what I'm going to interact with you, is about a general way of talking, not technicalities of whatever is written. Okay, so don't worry. I'm not going to talk any scientific methodology or something like that. Nothing like that. So these are the general things, and these are the points which are the need of the hour. And therefore, I have tried to put these points like digital technology waves. I think all of us are very much aware that in the whole world, in the entire globe, India is a leading country having the digitization. If you talk about that, in the number of transactions and many other things, we are doing wonderful things here. So that's why the term digital technology waves, because so many types of digital technology use is there, and which is being done, which was like the people were telling that how will it happen, and so on. But now that those things are past, is history only, and more number of users are there of the digital technology, not only digital technology but others also. Then next point, big data analytics. That means this is the time when we have faced the last 2 years, more than 2 years, about the COVID pandemic. So this is one of the example where people wanted to know that what has been the impact of this particular COVID pandemic to the society, how we are going to come out of it, and what can we take the future measures to fight such kind of pandemic if that happens in near future. Okay, so to know or to answer all these questions, we need a lot of data, big data. Let me see, if you are talking about a large population like India, 135 crore people. So you wanted to check that what has been the impact of this pandemic, how much % of our people got affected, how much of that could not survive, how much of them could survive, and how much of them survive but is still having problems. So this kind of questions, if you want to answer, if you want to know that about the pandemic impacts, then you need to handle with a large amount of data. You need to analyze a large amount of data. I have just given you one example. This can be the case with any other things also in the medical science, about other disease also, about other markets also, other things. Then Internet of Things. Nowadays, the time has come where the machine is talking to machine is becoming so much popular thing. Okay, so the moment you take out money from ATM, immediately you receive message, okay, that you have this much rupees has been withdrawn, and this is the balance in your account. Okay, and in the ATM, there is no human service. It is just machine only, and the machine is talking to you. Machine sends the signal, message to your mobile. Okay, likewise, there are so many things happening. Like one of the example is about the agriculture weather forecasting. So in the mobile, the farmers can receive the message regarding the next week weather condition, or next month weather condition, and accordingly they can take decisions of their agriculture practices. So here also this machine is talking to machine. There is no direct involvement of human being. So we call it in general Internet of Things, where the one device talks to another device, okay, through using internet. Then robotics is another very popular thing, and which is going to be a future, one of the devices which are going to be having a lot of use. Just like in 1980s, we started our computer and communication things in India. Just like that, robotics is going to be another revolution in the next, you can say, in decades and more than that. Then three-dimensional printing. Why I took this particular point? Because this three-dimensional printing is becoming so popular these days that the devices, the components that we print out of this printer, which can print three-dimensional kind of structures, they are ready to use. You will surprise that in electronic industry and even in medical and others also, you are having printer and you are printing a particular device, and that is ready to use. See, that is something wonderful happening these days, and it is going to be improved further in near future. Then artificial intelligence, you must be hearing this term, although you may be from any area, but artificial intelligence is something which is known to all of us in today's world. Here, the machine is taking decision based on your training. First, we train the machine about the situations, about the variations, about the conditions, so many things depending on the parameters. So first point out of this is that we train the machine first. And when the machine gets trained, then it is given a task, and based on the other things, inputs that we give, the machine is able to take decision based on the inputs it is already having. So artificial intelligence is going to be an area where it is going to be applied to most of our activities in near activities, means most of our technical things in near future. So artificial intelligence, whether you talk about drones, whether you talk about missiles, whether you talk about many other things, then artificial intelligence is something which is at work in so many areas. Then technological innovation. When I say this, it is not in isolation. See, this was the reason why I talked to you in the first slide regarding research. Because when you are planning a research, when you are writing a research proposal, that is the time to think whether I should go for a research proposal out of which I will plan to file a patent or to get granted a patent. This can be your vision, or your vision may be that you are going to have to produce a very good impact factor research papers. Okay, that can be one of your goals or objectives. Or you may say that this particular device which is being used today's world, particular say medical device or any other device, and your plan is that you will come up with a totally new idea where you will improve the device, okay, with your innovative ideas. Or you are coming up with an entirely new device having a variety of applications in different areas. So this technological innovation, when I say, it originates from when you start writing a research proposal. Okay, it will not come up suddenly. So since then, when you are writing a research proposal, or you are part of a startup, or you are part of, as you have heard in the previous lecture, if you are in that kind of situations, you are interested, that is also fine. Or if you are writing a research proposal by your own, or you are writing a research proposal by having 2, 3, 4 PI and co-PIs to develop a research proposal and work together, whatever it may be. So technological innovation can be one of the components which you have to you have to think, and in the initial stage only. Okay, so from there you start, and then when your work is completed, then you go for patent, or you go for a totally new device, you are patenting it, or and so on. There are so many opportunities for this. Then finally, we'll talk about what is the impact, okay, of whatever we discussed earlier, how it can impact us, how it can impact our society, how it can impact especially for the poor people. Okay, because if the science, technology, and all the work, if unless it really gives a positive impact to the people at the bottom line, then I think that is because then I feel that we did not achieve the goal. Okay, so that should be one of the objective for any kind of work that we plan. Then, as I said, digitization, it has really changed our life, because especially when you talk about the pandemic time, then if most of our people, we are not having a smartphone or any kind of simple phone also, you can imagine what could have happened. Because the moment you call anybody, you have to listen the message regarding the precautions regarding the pandemic, COVID pandemic. So here it has been so wonderful and it has been so effective, the use of digital technology, that such a large number of population could be trained, could be given proper instructions just on time. And therefore, the losses that could have been so much, so high, we could reduce, and things were always under control. Okay, so if the what I'm trying to say is that information, if you disseminate the information on time and effectively, that can do great jobs. So this is one of the example. Okay, so here you technologies that can generate, process, share, and transfer information, it becomes very important. And here the digitization, as I said, we are the world leader now, global leader. Even those who are developed countries cannot handle transactions, and the number of transactions in so many crores we are doing, and they are wondering how they can manage it, and they are trying to study how they are handling and how it is being so effectively. So in this area, we are the world leader, and our people are doing very nicely and very effectively, and others may like to take a learning projects to know how the Indians are doing well in the digitization case. Okay, so digital transformation is a continuous process. That's important, because what technology you are using today, people start encroaching to it also. There can be fraudulent people who try to encroach in the digital system. So we need to update our technologies always. Okay, we need to put the features where we can check those people who have bad intentions and who are trying to do fraudulence and trouble our users. Okay, so the evolution of new technology and adaptation at the same time. So adaptation of technology, adaptation of policies, evolution of new technology and their adaptation, and so on. And the last point, that is awareness amongst the masses. I think, as I already told you about the cell phone, another thing is the Reserve Bank of India is trying to educate everyone that you should be careful, okay, before you are using the digital devices. Of course, that is part of our life. So while using, you should be aware. So the awareness program is another very important thing. And in the awareness program, not just to tell how to use the device, but how to keep the updated information and how you keep yourself updated, and so that you doesn't fall, or people do not fall under the trap of the people, the fraudulent people who want to misuse our digital system. Okay, so as I said in the beginning itself, that cell phones have really changed our lives. So this is a classical piece, a classical example. If you talk about that, cell phone has nothing to do with science or engineering or anything. It came out of the science and engineering, that's okay. But as a user, it is going to each and everyone. Like I can tell you one other example, that when the invention of this ordinary bulb was done by in long back. Then this bulb was invented in USA, but later on it was part of the everyone on this earth. Okay, so that is how the science from a small room, from a laboratory, it goes to the masses, to everyone. Okay, so that is how things happen. That if the science doesn't agree, doesn't follow any boundary. Okay, that's why whatever research outcome is there is open to the entire humanity. Okay, so cell phone is one of the classic example which is connecting the entire globe, and that's why we call it global village. We use the term global village, and the distance has no meaning. When you are using your mobile phone, when you are doing a Facebook comment, when you are using Instagram, when you are using WhatsApp, or you are doing email, whatever you do, you never feel difference. Whether you are doing your email or Facebook comment from Aizawl, or you are doing the same thing from New York, or you are doing the same thing from London City, it doesn't feel you any difference. The time taken by the message to get posted or to reach to the destination, it takes the same time. And I can say no time. Okay, so that is the wonder of the technology, and that is how we can make use of the technology, and that is how the science can go to each and everyone. Okay, for as far as its benefits of concerned. Then here the impact of technology. Okay, that what is the impact in social development, impact of automation, digital transformation, and its potential benefits towards improvement of quality of the life of our citizens. I think this you will agree. The major objective of every government is that what steps should be taken so that our citizens' quality of life gets improved. Because quality of life of the citizens actually is an indicator of our development. Okay, how the country is developed, these indicators are very, very important. That how is the quality of life of the citizens of that country. Okay, so this is very, very important point. And negative effects such as workforce disruption, disappearance of companies, cyber crime, and gap between haves and have-nots. So actually, any system you follow, if you go back to 80s, as I was telling, so when we started talking about the computers, there was a lot of fear that once the computers we started using, everyone become there will be a large number of people without employment. But what has actually happened is that after the computers have come in our daily life, they found the place. So a lot of new opportunities have come. So likewise, when you talk about any change, whether it is digital or any other thing, there is always a thought where people will say that, okay, it is, let us not use it, and it will have this problem. That actually anything you do, any initiative you take for development, there is always two sides of the coin. So there is no need to worry about thinking in that what will happen and this and that. But when we start working, at the same time, we also start working that whatever are the negative effects or impacts of this program, how to handle them. Okay, so we can work out on that, and we can always modify those things as and when required. But this is the need of the hour, where you cannot go back. That like I'm just giving you one example, that when the days when you are sending money by your check, you are sending check to the person, he will deposit it, then it will take 1 week. Okay, so overall it might take 2 weeks or more than that. Or likewise, it was of the this money transfer, post office. So all these things, if you look back, maybe 20-30 years back, or little more than that, and you compare from today, then how things will happen. There is a sea change. The time taken for such activities has basically become nil. No time. Immediately you receive money. immediately things happen. And within minutes, you get the response from the other side also. So all these things, I mean, there are, but for any technology that has lots of good things, lots of benefits, nobody can say it is free of glitches, free of troubles. It is always there. But main thing is that when we start working, there are ways and means to reduce or totally eliminate such difficulties. Because when that new technology comes, the old technology and the difficulties gone, but new challenges always there. So this is, as it is written here, it is a continuous process. So we have to take it as a challenge, and we have to try to use the technology for the benefit of the people, for good of the people. Because if you are saving time, if you are saving money or any other things which is due to the technology, it is going to impact your quality of life at large. Sorry. Then big data analytics, as I was trying to tell you in the beginning, that this is the time where you are the, like, suppose you are entrepreneur, or if we talk about any other big companies. So anyone is trying to expand their business or trying to open a manufacturing center or manufacturing company, I mean, the manufacturing plant or any other things. So big data analytics plays a very big role in the today's world. So when we talk about big data, capability of processing extremely large data sets to identify correlations or pattern of relationship to apply for detecting market trends, consumer behavior and preferences, consumer ecosystem. I think these are the terms which were not there earlier. Earlier, if you want to buy a car, there are models available, things are there. If you want to buy it. If you don't want, it's okay. That's end. But nowadays, the things are totally changed. When, as I said, that suppose a company wants to sell BMW cars in Mizoram. So if they want to give a dealership, or if they want to open a plant or whatever, they want to know the trend of the market, the people, how many number of people can buy BMW in this state, or if it is the national level in this country, how much people can buy. Then how is the behavior of the consumers, what kind of preferences they have. Okay, so these things they want to study so that they can do justice with the customers as well as with the company. Because if you are putting the things which are not preferred by the people, it is, you are losing in a different way. Okay, so, and another very interesting thing of today is consumer ecosystem nowadays, that now it is the reverse process, where the companies or the manufacturers reach out to the public. Okay, the general public in the villages, in the cities, they used to have camps, they used to have melas, where they want to know the consumer preferences, what kind of things you want, what kind of facilities in my vehicle it is not available, what things you want more. So they take direct feedback from the consumers, from the customers. Okay, this we never thought in a few decades back. It was never like that. They never come to the customer and ask them, what do you want, what kind of vehicle you want, or what kind of changes you want, so that I can modify my next model accordingly. It was a matter of we never thought that it will happen, but in today's world it is really happening. And therefore, what is the benefit? It is a two-way process. Both are benefited. Customers also, they can give the feedback and they can get the vehicles of their choice, okay, of their dream vehicle. And at the same time, the companies are not preparing such vehicles, such models, which are not required by the market, which are not a preference of the people. So both are in benefit, no? Otherwise, if they produce such kind of models which are not preferable by the most of the customers, of the consumers, then what is the use of that? They lose money out of that. But if they are already aware, then from that side also is benefit, and of course customers also happy. Then, as I said earlier, applications to epidemiological and climate change research, public issues, cancer data, foot and mouth disease syndrome prevention. So these are the things where big data analytics play a very important role. Like if I give you the example of Mizoram state, here the number of cancer patients quite large, one of the largest in India. So at the level of the government, at the level of the planners, they need to know what is that future trend, how many number of patients are likely. What I'm saying is that the data which is of the future, projected data. So if you do a lot of research to the population and come up with a projected value that in another 10 years, this much number of patients will be reduced or increased, or in this particular disease, it will increase, and in this particular disease, it will decrease. Okay. So all those data are going to help a lot for the, especially for the government to make effective planning for the future. Okay. So I think from here, you will certainly appreciate that big data analytics is really a very important thing which is happening. And therefore, a lot of data war you will find. People are collecting data, or sometimes you come to know that no, all the Facebook data of the people was stolen or something. Okay, so breach has happened and so on. So data war is happening in today's world, because more data you have, more information you can generate, and more marketing you can do. And those people who collect data and resell the data is another business. Okay, on this internet platform, internet cloud, people who are collecting the data and reselling them. So out of that, they make a lot of money. So it's a very, very different world if you look back for 30, 40 years and today's comparison. Then, as I was telling you about Internet of Things, so is nothing but a platform that links multiple sensors and data devices, and in totality, it generates a complete vision of the behavior of an organization, a system, or a phenomenon. So don't go too much about the technical words. What I was telling you, that here one machine can talk to other machine effectively and perform tasks also. Okay, so different tasks, as you are one of the examples is that you have like remote, you are using remote button, you are pressing, your TV gets on. So just one very small example where the two devices are talking. Okay, so but in the today's world is so large, so vast, that a variety of systems are actually interconnected, and as per the command given to them, they perform their task. Okay, like I was telling you that if this particular technology or this particular idea is used for farmers, then they are given the advice for controlled use of fertilizers, how to use. They can be given different specific information that if your soil is of this type, you should use this much. If your soil is of this type, you should use another specification. That information can be given. Then weather is most important thing for the agriculture and others also. So if you monitor the weather in an effective manner, in a reliable manner, then it is going to be useful for the farmers taking decision regarding sowing, regarding other activities of the farmers, and therefore you may reach to the most appropriate harvest out of this. It can help you. Okay, so that if you are advised and you take those precautions, it can finally improve the yield. It can finally improve the production. Then we talk about smart cities. Aizawl is one of the smart city project we are having. We are working, and many things have been upgraded here also. And in different parts of India, different cities have been declared as smart cities. Okay, so they are getting additional funding for improving the city. In what way? Like to control flow of traffic, managing energy consumption. So what are the things which can be done in a smart way so that you consume less power and still your work is very much effective? Okay, so you are managing things effectively at lower cost. If that is there, it's wonderful thing. And just like that, if you are managing if you do a good research about the traffic flow in the city, then based on that, you develop automatic systems where, depending on the need, you allow or block or stop the flow of traffic. So all these things are the result of machines talking to machines. Okay, of course, all things are controlled by human being only. Another very interesting thing out of this Internet of Things is telemedicine. Here, when you talk about telemedicine, I think all of us are aware about telephone, television. So just like telemedicine, where you can request the doctor, you are sitting here at Aizawl and you are taking appointment of the doctor from AIIMS Delhi or Chandigarh, PGI or anywhere else, and over video call, suppose, okay, or video conferencing. So all that system, when you are consulting, you are trying to consult a doctor for your ailment who is sitting very far from your place, we call it telemedicine. Okay, he or she may be prescribing you particular medicine or particular activities, whatever it may be. So monitoring hospitalized at home patients' health. So this is interesting because the patient, suppose patient is hospitalized in maybe Aizawl Hospital, Civil Hospital Aizawl, and the patient needs a advice from AIIMS Delhi or from PGI Lucknow or from any other place. Then the because of this connectivity, internet connectivity, the doctor can closely look at the patient and see him or her clearly, and after discussing, after diagnosis information, he can or she can advise a proper activity or proper medicine. Okay, so this is also, we never thought, if you talk about 80s or 70s, we have never thought that one day it will happen. But today it is reality, it is happening. You can always take appointment of the doctors who are very far from us, but who are very much specialized. And if you call them, you have to pay lots of money and time and so on. But then here, you can contact, you can get advice from them, just sitting maybe in your hospital room if you are admitted, or if you are interested to get the advice sitting from your home. So this kind of ease has come because of the application of the technology. So that is how the role of technology is reaching to the masses, reaching to the everyone for different purposes. So one of that is this medical diagnostics. So in the out of this, I think you will agree with me that how Internet of Things have really changed our lifestyle and is going to change more in near future. Okay, so for any area, I think I should say that there is no area which is left out where there is no impact of technology. So for different purposes, we are using the internet services, internet devices, which are interconnected and which are playing a great role for the benefit of the society. Then here is nothing but a picture which you can see that how we are connected, Internet of Things, as I was telling you, that different appliances, industrial internet, service industry, smart space, smart cities, how the, like I was just now, I was talking to you, smart health. Okay, so all these things are the reality of today, and in near future, you are going to get more such facilities and more such changes and improvements in the technology continuously happening, because intrusion from unwanted people also is one of the challenge, and therefore the overall development, when we say the updating of the technology, is one of the important things here. So all such kind of things are interconnected, and based on the programming, are here all that you see here, the behind the scene is always there, the artificial intelligence. Okay, so artificial intelligence is playing a great role here also, because the machine is able to take decision, as I said in the beginning, that based on the training we give, based on the inputs we provide, based on the analytical methods we provide, based on all that inputs that is given by the master, that means by us, it will follow, and based on those, it will take decisions. So it is going to be very interesting thing, and it doesn't bar to anyone that whether you are from science background or whether you are from non-science background, it doesn't matter. As I said in the beginning, that the time has come where all the all the disciplines need to join together for the better of the research, for the better of all walks of life, I should say. Then machine-to-machine application, point solutions that link similar devices such as thermostats connected via cellular network, a flow sensor in a refinery, vehicle location system for fleet management, monitoring of home appliances remotely. So I've tried to write different points. Some of you must be aware about that. So here, if suppose you take this one example, the flow sensor in a refinery. So if you are putting a sensor where the level of the liquid you want to monitor, that if the liquid level, it is oil or others, if it comes above this, there is a chance of accident. Okay. So it is not easy that you put some person and he or she will be there always and monitoring and telling you. It's very complicated, because the system might be at higher temperature also, if it is that kind of things. So for that reason, not each and every place you can put human force. And therefore, in such situation, if we are able to put the devices which can be planted there and which can be monitored from the far place. Okay, so that is one of the points here. That is, the flow sensor is one of the example. Our vehicle location system, you can, if you know about vehicles, then fleet management when you are doing, then which area is free or which area is better to go and so on. Our monitoring of home appliances, I think I will tell you that in the last point here, how interesting it can be. So home appliances, you can remotely you can check that if you put a proper appliance and you connect it to your cell phone, then from there you can check that how many times your TV was put on and how much time all the fans were on and so on, because from you can connect and you can get all the data. So if your maid has come, how much time she spent in your home, and during that what type of machines have been used, like whether TV was on, whether other things you can check. So all these things are possible by putting a proper app which you can control remotely wherever you are. Then machine to machine devices are a component of an IoT network, as I said in the beginning. So it is talking of machine to machine. Okay, human intervention is not there out of that. Of course, as I said, in the development of the master structure, it is done by human being only. But the way we program, the way we give liberty is given to the machines to modify information, to change information, or not to do anything but to pass on the information from one machine to another. Okay, so these are all the part of IoT network, and you know already the Google Translate and speech recognition and so on. These are things. So now this last point, you must be finding it very interesting, that a person having his house at Bengaluru, but he is working in US. Okay, but he was having a proper app and he was able to monitor his home at Bengaluru sitting at New York. Okay, and this is what happened one day, that some people they maybe for a few days they have seen that in this particular house it's locked and it is not open. Nobody stays, it seems. And nobody stays for a long time. When they found it that nobody stays for a long time, they tried to do theft in his house. Okay, and they did not know that the thieves do not know that this particular house is monitored by the house owner. They don't know about that. So one night they entered into the house. Okay, they break whatever was there and lock and so on, and they went inside and they tried to do theft inside the house. But since the system installed in that house was monitored by the house owner, and the moment they broke the lock and entered into the house, the alarm was there in the mobile. The person, the owner sitting at New York, in warning bell he heard. Okay, and after hearing the warning bell, he immediately called Bengaluru police near the concerned police station and informed them that these 3-4 people, they are coming and they are entering to my house, and they, they are trying to perform theft in my house. Immediately, police came into action and everyone was caught. They have no chance to do theft. So I think you can understand that sitting at 12,000, 14,000 kilometers away from your home, how can you manage? This is one example where machines talking to machine is doing this job. The machine sitting installed in his house and the mobile, they are talking to each other. So because of that, this particular theft could be prevented and the culprits were caught by the police. Okay, arrested by the police. So this is, I hope you find it interesting, that this is one interesting thing which the technology is doing for the society, and more such things are happening. I could not cover everything here, and much more will come in near future also. Then, as I was telling, that robotics is one of the area where is growing or will be growing too much in the near future. Okay, because of its use. Like you might have seen sometimes in the news or some video that the robots are at service in the shopping mall. Okay, so in the shopping mall, the robots are asked by the master that you bring this item. Okay, 10 items. The robot is going to that particular block and taking out the item and bringing it to the counter, okay, for the customer. So this is already in place. It is already happening in many countries, in many places. But not only this, if you have any chance to visit the industry, the car manufacturing industry and so on, there you will find that majority of the task is done by the robots. So they are programmed what to do, and next step is what, next step is what, and so on. So accordingly, they follow the steps and they complete the task on time with lower cost and with a very high rate of working. Very fast they do. Okay. So agriculture harvesting, exploration in dangerous environments such as nuclear or poisonous gas. That is another area which is going to come up in a large scale, that in near future countries will have robot army, okay, where you can avoid the human loss. And the areas where there is poisonous gas is coming out nearby a factory, and you want to really know that in the nearby area what is the situation, then you can have robots. They can give information to you based on the sensors and so on which you are putting in. Okay, then you can monitor the situation where human cannot go. Okay, but using robot you can monitor. Or if there is a nuclear war, in that situation, not only war, if there is a nuclear leakage, okay, war is one case, but another case also there. Suppose you have a nuclear reactor which is producing power and there has been leakage of radiation because of some accident or so. So how to know the level of radiation? Okay, that is, the machines are available, but whether to know the level of radiation next to the accident site, if you want to know, and if you want to send the person, that person may die because of huge amount of radiation prevailing in that area. But if you are putting robots there and you are putting the proper sensor over there, you will be able to monitor the situation in a very safe way. okay, and accurate manner, because you are still using the same machine, and instead of human being, you are instructing the robot to perform the task, and it is doing it. And there is no chance of no malpractice in that. There is no chance of what to say managing the things. Okay, so those things will not happen. So whatever information you get from the robot, it will be accurate as per the sensor, as per the arrangement, or as per the device facilities that are there. Then, as I said, robot army is one of the future things that is going to happen, that is going to be reality. Already few countries, they are already having it. Then here, as I was telling you little earlier, that in the car manufacturing, the robots play a very important role. I think you can see in this picture, these yellow ones, they are all robots only. And suppose in a particular car manufacturing process, in a particular area of the car, how many holes are to be made, what size of the holes, and all these things, if you perform by using human being, it can take many hours to do the task, which they can do within minutes and with lots of high accuracy. Okay, so all these things are being done, is nothing new. It is already in process, and already in use, sorry, not in process, already in use by all the manufacturing companies, car manufacturing or other similar things, whatever, not only car, other vehicles which they are manufacturing. In everywhere, this kind of system of the use of robots already in place, and in developed countries it has been happening since long. Okay, so now this particular type of system, which we call robot, not only bringing items in the shopping mall, not only having recently we could see that the robots are in the restaurants, they are serving you food. Okay, so all those things are also there, but this is also one form, one type of robot where they are doing the task, which is very, very sophisticated, very important task, and reducing the cost at the same time. If you are using the robots, then the number of hours that it can work, and it will not demand any lunch or dinner. Okay, so all the things it can do without any problem, without any difficulty, if technical things are working fine. And that is how you can reduce the cost, the input cost of the vehicles, and therefore you can do better business. Okay, then as I was telling you, three-dimensional printing, why I took this topic in this discussion, because this is also going to change the world, and already so much things are happening, because especially in the electronics industry, you can print several devices, several components, or you can develop a circuit which can be ready to use by the industries. Okay, if you can print the final circuit by doing all the experimentation virtually, okay, using the proper software, you are able to understand the advantages, disadvantages, improvements, running the program, all that you can do, and make the perfect system finally, without doing actually physical task. Okay, everything you can do in the virtual process, or in the in the computer, using the proper softwares. Okay, but when you talk about the printing, the material is also equally important. Okay, so adhesive materials such as polymer is one of the very popular. So creation of objects can be done by using polymers. Product design such as medicinal, prosthetic, architectural models, textile design, to develop spare parts in consumer electronics and industrial products, as I was telling you. So all these things are possible by having very accurate and ready to use type of components that you can just print, okay, not to produce. For those lot of components, not all, but lots of components which you can use with this 3D printing. You need not to go to open a factory and produce them, but you can simply print, and they are as good as we were doing in the production earlier. So this is going to change the whole world. Already happening, these things are already happening, and more of this type of technological improvement, innovation, and happenings will be there in near future. And this is one not very advanced but simple type of three-dimensional printer. So this 3D printer can print the components which are ready to use. Okay, so it is really interesting that the components which we used to do earlier by having a proper factory, having the proper machine and taking hours and doing things, and then only it was ready. Now it's just a minute's job. Okay, you are giving the programming you inside your computer, which is connected to this 3D printer. The way you are producing or generating the shape inside the computer, exactly same thing, replica of that will come out as a real component here, the printed component. Okay, so this 3D printing is another revolution in the I should say not only printing, but it is going to help in a variety of ways to the society. Then, as we already discussed a little bit about the artificial intelligence or machine learning. So as I told you in the beginning itself, that we develop the programs which allow a computer to learn. Okay, because when we say artificial intelligence, when we say machine is doing things, it doesn't mean that machine is just totally independent and machine is doing whatever it likes. It's not like that. First, because it is machine, it is not human brain. So machine has to be trained first. Okay, when you are trying to put a person and in your industry, and you want that he should do the best job, then you always try to send him or her for a training, learning process, so that he or she can update himself or herself. If that is the case, then that person is going to be more productive. Okay, so that is about the human being. Likewise, when we want that the machine should take mature decisions, right decisions, then machine needs to be given a good training. If you do not train the machine, how will it know what decision to be taken and what should be the basis of taking decision? So the entire process of learning, where you are telling the machine, you are teaching the machine about the input parameters, you talk, you tell the machine, you train the machine about what are the parameters, what are the formula used, or what will be the way of analysis, and what are the errors that are possible, or what are the possible combination of the decision, and so on. What I'm saying is very few. So many things we need to train the machine first. Okay, when you train the machine, then machine knows that routine things are like this, like this, like this, and here it is not programmed. You are not just doing the program, but you are training the machine. There is a difference in the two. When you write a program, pre-program written in your computer, you give input data, the output comes out immediately based on that program. That is one way. But artificial intelligence is not that one. But here we train the machine. That means we empower the computer. Okay, like if you are one thing is that you are looking for the job, you are getting the job, and you are doing the job for your livelihood. Another thing is that you are given a training for maybe electrician or TV repair or whatever. Then after that you decide what you want actually. Okay, you can open a repairing center, you can open other things based on your training, based on your knowledge. Okay, so just like that, no, not pre-programmed. When we give training to a person for a particular training, we don't say that no, you will be this person, or you will be doing only this job. No, depending on the skill developed to the person, or the way person feels that what things I can do, the person can take decision. Okay, so just like that here, decision making process, we try to learn the machine based on the inputs, based on the permutation combinations, based on the conditions, based on the different situations. Okay, in different situations, what kind of decisions are viable, which can be taken, which can really work. All these learning things, what happens? machine learning program transforms itself once it starts processing information. That doesn't happen in pre-programmed cases. Nothing is transformed. You have a proper programming, you give input, the program is run, output is available. But here it is totally different. Here, once you start processing the information, the machine learning program transforms itself. Okay, that means it can modify itself based on the training it has been given. So that's why it's very interesting, and it has a lot of variety of applications. One of them is self-driving cars. Okay, where there is no driver, the car can drive itself, and the way it is programmed, the passenger can reach there and you can get down. Okay, like that. That is the future things that are going to happen. Already we have the flying cars already tested. Then product recommendations. Suppose you want to say that you are talking that you are giving input to the machine that my complexion is like this, and this. So what kind of color will suit the best to me? Okay, or what kind of other things like you want about you? You just ask the machine. Based on the information, it can give you a lot of options that blue will be good, or red will be, or yellow, or whatever. Okay. So you can get recommendations from them. Based on your input, based on your request, you can get recommendations from the machine. Okay. Based on the artificial intelligence technique. Internet platforms like Amazon, Netflix, then here it has a lot of applications. As I told you, that even without asking, you are receiving lots of information through internet, like in the form of email or other forms, where they tell you that you buy this or you buy that, or this is best for you, this is recommended for you, and so on. So all these are part of these applications of the artificial intelligence. Then not only this, those people who are indulged into fraudulent things in the, as I told you in the beginning, in the digital system. So for them, also this technique can be used to detect who is the fraudulent from where he has tried to do or she has tried to do. And then calculation of consumer credit profile. This is another very interesting thing in the market. Okay, in the market area, platform, if you talk about, everybody wants to know that for my product, how many consumers, what kind of consumers, what is this purchasing power, and so on. We always want to know the consumer credit profile. Okay, how much money this consumer, particular one, can spend, or how many people in this country can afford a BMW, how many people can afford some other things, or helicopter. Okay, so depending on all those data is going to give a lot of useful information for those who are interested in that particular area. Then not only that, as I said, artificial intelligence is going to be used for so many purposes. And one of the areas is space science also. We all know that we already reached, our vehicles already reached to the Mars also. So when you are sending the vehicle, and it is all controlled by this internet method only. Internet of Things, machine talking to machine, no human being there who is driving the spaceship. No, it is going automatically, inbuilt computer system, and not only in this spaceship, but also in the the suit that the astronauts wear. Even in that also, you have all the complete system of a self-sustained type of system. Okay, where you can make use satellite launching or any type. As I said, as I told you, Mars mission or lunar mission, or mapping of forest area, detecting water bodies, agriculture crop assessment, all these things. There, the space science has a lot of applications, and it is helping to the government to decide on many things of policies or about other things, whether it is related to the availability of the water, availability of the forest area. So if it is less, or if it is, whether it is increasing or decreasing, okay, afforestation or deforestation, that can be assessed, not going to that area. If you send the people and do survey, you may have to spend a lot of money, lot of people, lot of time, and still you may not get a very accurate information. But by having a picture from the satellite and you analyze the picture and you are able to get a very authentic, correct information. And here the point number 4, which I have written, income tax recovery, how the technology can really work. Yeah, this is one of the example. As I told you the other example, this is another example. A person in Ghaziabad, so he was given notice from income tax department that you have not paid your income tax for so and so year. The years last, 10 years back, the notice was regarding 10 years back for the shopping mall, which income tax department gave notice that during this period, you did not pay income tax. Okay. But the guy is smart. He said, no. During this time, I was not having any shopping mall here. What he did smartly is that he came up with a totally new model, totally new shopping mall in the recent times, like around 10 years back. So before 10 years back, he was having another shopping mall. Okay. So he thought that my shopping mall, which was there earlier, it was something else, and I have come up with a new one. So how these guys will know? It is totally new building, totally new model, nothing old is here. So income tax department said, okay. Then they asked the picture, the satellite picture, which was 10 years back, during the period where they served the notice to the owner for paying income tax. They wanted the picture of that area, close picture of that area in those period. And when they received the picture from the ISRO, Indian Space Organization, then they realized that, oh, the model was different, but it was the same person who was having shopping mall here. Okay. But the person thought that 15, 20 years back, what was there, who knows? Okay. But the technology is here, which knows, because all those data are stored. So from the stored data, the picture of his old shopping mall was delivered by ISRO. And the person has to pay all the income tax of that period also. There was no option. Okay. So how technology can do wonders. Then, of course, we all know that from space science, from the Indian Space Organization, from the satellite use, we are able to get 24/7 connectivity. We are managing our air traffic by making use of these technologies. Then, if you talk about different things in the technological development, as I told you in the beginning, those are kind of sum up here. Computers, broadband, now we are talking about 5G. In next year, we may be talking about 6G. Then telecommunications, there is a lot of revolution that has happened. Internet platforms, we all are aware. Cloud computing. So we all are connected to the same cloud in the internet, and different type of computing tasks can be performed by different kind of professionals with their different objectives. So this is wonderful thing that with one simple cloud, okay, or with a single cloud computing, with a single cloud of internet, there is no division that scientific things can be done here, or non-scientific can be done here, or engineering can be done here. Not like that. It is open to all, and all tasks can be performed without trouble. Okay, so that is cloud computing. Internet of Things, robotics, artificial, I think this all we have already discussed. So these are the this particular, you can say, decades or maybe few decades where these things have come up at large. Now they are gaining momentum, and in near future, it will be the future of theirs. Means in the future technology, these things are going to play a much more dominant role, I should say. Then I just gave this information not in respect of the science. You might many of you might be from science also, I don't know. But even if you are not there, no problem. Here my intention is that how the work done by the people, the researchers, how it changes the world, or how does that changes the society, or how it changes a particular scientific area or a particular research area. Okay, so this is one of the example, and it's nothing new, but the Nobel Prize for 2022, the people who got, why or what purpose they got, they have done, they conducted groundbreaking experiments using entangled quantum states. And what they found is that they found that the two particles behave like a single unit, even when they are separated. So this is something interesting, that there are two particles, okay, which behave like a single unit. Okay, so two are behaving like one, and that is okay. But even when they are separated, okay, so if you put them separated also, still they are having, they exhibit a very similar, the exactly similar property, you should say. So this is going to, this is information which is based on the quantum information, or the new technology of quantum dots you might have heard. So in those technologies, this is going to play a very small, major or vital role or the future. Then these are the guys from France, from USA, and from Austria. They jointly won the Nobel Prize for Physics in this. Then another information I just want to give about the Nobel Prize Physics winner from India, long back, 1930. But there is one thing special about C.V. Raman, the one who won the Nobel Prize, that perhaps he was the only person, or maybe my information is not updated, who got the Nobel Prize within 2 years of the discovery. You will, this is something very, very special about him. And from why I put this name for you, because it is not C.V. Raman, or it is not for physics, but anyone who is interested in research or who is interested in innovation, whatever area you are talking about, the idea is that if you are having the continuous effort, things are possible. Okay, because during those days, no computer, without having a great facility, the work that C.V. Raman did has got much more importance day by day, I should say. It is 1930. You check in the literature, you check the Raman effect study, you will find the number of researchers, the number of papers, the number of work, like the material analysis, the entire analysis of the materials is having a very major role played due to Raman effect. So like the person who did this work without much facilities, and his work is not only recognized, but it has got a very global research hub, I should say, because Raman, if you check, lots of Raman effect work is there. You will find in Europe or US or all parts of the world. Why? Because it has got variety of applications, and people are exploring more and more applications, and people are analyzing their materials based on this Raman effect. So he has done a great contribution to the world, I should say. And with his super mind, I should say, within 2 years of his work, the application of his effect was so much that he was recommended by the Nobel Committee for the Nobel Prize. Then how, I think this, one more thing. So about maybe most of you know that we celebrate National Science Day every year on 28th of February. So but this particular day is not the birthday of C.V. Raman, but this is the day when he discovered Raman effect. So Government of India, Department of Science and Technology, New Delhi, they declared the 28th February of every year as National Science Day, which we celebrate every year. Okay, so we that gives in memory of the Raman effect. 28th February 1928 he discovered. So now, impact of technology on economic growth, as I told in the beginning to you, although I'm not from that your subject directly, but the way I have tried to understand those few points I have written here, that when we apply the technology, or when it goes to the real field, or the real test, I should say, then economic growth is one of the area which controls everything. Because if your economy is not good, your science cannot be good, and many things, because you require a good input. You have to invest in science, in business, in everywhere. So unless you are good at the money side, your income is not very high, your GDP is not very high, you cannot think many things about that. So economic growth is the main thing of the development. So I should say the most important thing when we talk about development to the society. So improved productivity, revenue growth, growth of industries, domestic competition, better, and when there is a competition, the consumers are benefited, better quality product at competitive, that's what I said, job creation, okay, then awareness among masses, including low income group. So as I told you in the beginning, that the cell phone has no class, okay, so each and everyone, any person is having phone, and every person is using the network, okay, the same cloud, and there is total uniformity. Okay, mobile model may be different, that's all, but otherwise that use of technology, there's no difference to anyone. Then higher wages to higher productivity level. So these are the things. If your economy is good, economic growth is good, you can classify and you can pay the people who are skilled, who are semi-skilled, who are ordinary levels, unskilled. Unskilled, I think I don't feel, because everyone has some skill always. So semi-skilled and having more skill. So you should the company can decide higher wages for them, and that can help the productivity also. Then all these things, when we talk about the economic growth, can create jobs, direct, indirect. Okay, you develop a good quality roads, good quality railway infrastructure, airports, tourism. So those people who are directly working in those departments, it's okay, but indirectly, so much of people, lakhs, crores of people get indirect job in that, or indirectly they contribute to it. So just like that, we can see in the online jobs, and not only online, in the online system also, inside that social network or search engine, are many jobs which are available out of the these internet platforms. And like advertising, maintenance of internet, that is another type of the job. But everything, as I said, has negative impact also, something. So labor force reduction. Here there is one problem, that when we make things automatic, so automation leads to the loss of jobs. That is one option. But that is one consequence, sorry. But the option is that if you are able to train the people, or if you make them even semi-skill also, even if you can provide some skill and you can use them in your system, that is the solution, rather than just firing them without caring much. So that, because if you follow the firing system, in that case, many people will just lose job, and most of them, it is going to affect their livelihood, their life, and finally to the society at large. Then these are the references from where I have tried to discuss with you. And thank you so much for your kind attention and listening me, whatever I have tried to say. Now, in the question and answer box, there is no question. In chat box, also, I could not find any questions so far. So if you have any questions, please, you can post now also. So I'll try if I can answer. There is one question.
Sir, one question is there from Anupma.
Yeah. No doubt, use of improved technology can improve productivity, but using such technology can create health hazards. Can it be considered as inverse impact on economic growth? Hello, dear. Actually, what you say is perfectly right, but there is a solution to every problem. And health hazard, yeah, it's a very, very important thing. Like, I can tell you one example, that when we have any problem and we go for X-ray, doctor asks us to go for X-ray. Then when you go there, the people who are handling the X-ray machine, for them also there is an instruction that you should operate this machine from this much feet far. Okay. Or this particular area, the people should not be allowed to sit because of that, they may face the health hazard. So what you said is correct, is right. The any development procedure or anything you start, there is always some impact. There is always something which can create trouble. But every problem comes with solution. I believe in that. So for everything which are likely problems or which are existing problems, there is always a way to find solution to it. And I fully agree with you that it can be there. But by using a proper protocol, I should say, then those things can be avoided. The protocol is provided by the Atomic Energy Regulatory Board, Mumbai. So if we follow those protocols, such kind of problems could be ideally either eliminated or certainly it can be reduced. Thank you. If you have any question, please post.
Any other question?
Yeah,
it seems no more questions.
yeah, it seems no questions further. So anyway, I thank you so much for all the participants for their patience hearing, because I'm not directly from the subject. Still, you are very much kind to hear and give your comments also. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you, sir, for sparing your time. You are already in mid of a meeting and you left that meeting and joined this session. And same thing happened to me also. I was in a meeting and you concluded the previous session also. So thanks for that also, sir.
No, it's
And
okay.
thanks for sparing time for our session also. And on behalf of all participants and on behalf of HRDC and on behalf of the coordinator and on my personal behalf, I say thanks to you. And
thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. So, dear friends, our next session will be from Professor Tej Pratap Singh. He is faculty member in Department of Political Science, Banaras Hindu University, and he will be speaking on internationalization of higher education and its impact on society. An important topic to be deliberated on at 1:30. So